Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to today's message. As usual, I have got a message coming to you based on what's been going on in my own life. And recently, I'm currently just attending my Master Practitioner NLP certification course. That's a mouthful. And basically it's been pretty intense. We're doing loads and loads of kind of digging deep into our own perspectives, into how we view the world, into our own core stories and models of the world, and basically, you know, how to take ourselves out of perspectives that limit us, waking up to the patterns that we've habituated that are directing our results and the courses of our lives, and basically all things great about, you know, breaking through and breaking free of habituated patterns that are limiting us. All right. And so today, what I really want to dive into with you guys is something that has been really revolutionary in my own life in terms of transitioning from, and I'm still on the journey, but transitioning from someone who has looked to the external world to gauge what direction I need to take in terms of, you know, allowing the external world to determine my sense of value for myself, looking to basically externalize the authority of my life rather than internalize it. And so a huge part of my personal journey has been transforming that and becoming more and more conscious of when I fall into the pattern of you know, externalizing the responsibility of my life and my fulfillment, and taking back the powers that I have, right? That you have, that I have, which is basically our 4 powers that are our full responsibility. What I think, what you think, right? What we think, what we say, what we feel, and what we do, all right? And basically, the way that I've done that is something that I want to share with you guys so that you can give it a go where you are, wherever you are in the world, to transform the externalization of what do I do, who am I, all of this sort of stuff, and actually generate it from within. And so I'm going to share a couple of things that have been going on in my life and on my growth journey, and to kind of articulate today's message, which is basically to drop your egoic limitations and let your soul work its magic. All right. So what do I mean by that? So I don't know about you, but in my life, I have allowed my ego or my fear-driven self to determine whether I proceed with actions or not. And every time I have personally allowed my fears, my insecurities, my ego, my concern, being overly concerned about the opinions or judgments of others to determine or flavor my actions or inactions, every time I've gone down that path, life has gotten tougher, right? Life has gotten more challenging. There's been more suffering, right? And basically, on the flip side of that, the times where I have had the courage to move beyond my fear or insecurity and basically tap into something much deeper and inspired, and direct and align my actions or inactions with that place within myself, life has definitely gotten easier, more in flow. And in fact, over the last 3 weeks or so in particular, my energy completely transformed. It was like I got so much of my energy back. It was like I didn't even know where it came from, right? And all I can do is look at the work that I've been doing, look at what I've been thinking about, look at how I've been determining my state, look at how I have perceived the world around me, look at how I have perceived myself, the meanings that I've been bringing to things. And I've realized that it stemmed from me recreating or co-creating a relationship between that fear-driven self, you can name the ego, and my soul self, right, is what I kind of deem it, which is that inner world, that intuition, that inner teacher, that inner guide, that higher aspect of yourself that resides inside, right? And we tend to fall to sleep to, or we miss when we are hyper focused on the external world. We go to sleep to, or we turn our back on that knowingness within, that higher aspect of ourselves. But it doesn't go away. It's always there. It's always ever present. It's just whether we're bringing it into our conscious awareness or not. And basically, whatever we are moving away from in our external world, out of fear or insecurity, without bringing conscious healing and growth to, basically that's what's controlling us energetically. All right. And when we have all of our energy dispersed in all of these fear-driven places, even though we perceive ourselves to be moving away from those things, but we're not actually fully engaged in the actual process of healing, understanding ourselves, or growing beyond those things, when we're not doing that, we haven't got the energy to tap into our inspiration. We haven't got the fuel to create the life that we dream of. We can't even clarify. We're confused, right? And it's basically because we've dispersed all these pieces of ourselves through our fears and insecurities energetically into all these different environments throughout the timeline of our life. And it's not until basically we realize that it's our 100% responsibility to energetically regroup, right? And to stop the externalization and to realize everything that we need is within, everything we've ever wanted is within, everything is available to us, and all we need to do is wake up to the internal world that we've gone to sleep to. And then in a process of reuniting with that soul aspect of self, with that higher aspect of ourselves, it gives our ego or our fear-driven self the certainty that it requires, the connection that it yearns for, to regroup, and then to be able to have the courage and the confidence to then be able to fully acknowledge our history, our experiences, everything that makes up our perspectives and viewpoints and lenses that we see the world through. It kind of cleans them for us. And basically now we have the courage, because now we're not this lonesome little ego who's so fearful of being alone. Now we have this all-encompassing connection and certainty and strength provided by the higher aspect of ourselves, our soul connection, that we now can move through and view life in a much more expanded way, where blame is dropped, where responsibility and ownership is taken with a deep sense of freedom, and we get to re-engage that energy through healing, through growth, and no longer avoid or move away from things that have terrified us. Now, let me give you a real life example in my own life. Throughout my history, so my past self has been incredibly black and white in particular in the realm of intimate partnership. And if I was to end a relationship with somebody, that would mean over and out, never going to see this person again, never going to communicate with them again. And I had all sorts of great intentions behind that, right? And great rules around that, where I perceived that would be the healthiest thing for everybody, and basically I thought it was a honorable thing to do for a future partner, to no longer have my energy going in those directions and to be able to direct it towards that partner. Great intentions, but basically what I've realized, and the deeper I went underneath that and started to question that, I could see how much there was fear connected to that. Oh, I don't want to, feel basically maybe I could feel jealous, maybe I don't want to feel jealous of them being with a new partner. or like, you know, I don't want them to get the wrong idea here, or I don't want to hurt them in that realm, or, you know, all sorts of weird things that would go on. And I could probably list out a bunch and I wouldn't be very proud of them, right? And basically what I realized, I'd covered up my fear-driven self with all of these great intentions that were also true, but I was staying in the realm of only being aware of the great things, which gave me the payoff of feeling like a very, you know, moral person. But basically, I was covering up the fears and insecurities that, because I was being directed by ego, I couldn't actually see because it'd be too frightening. But as I've gone on the journey of deepening my connection with soul and allowing that soul connection to you know, put my ego at ease, it's transformed how I see things, and it's allowed me to get more into the gray area. And I'm just using the example right now. This affects every facet of your life, but I'm looking at the intimate partnership because just a couple of days ago, I ended up reconnecting with an ex of mine after something like 4 or 5 years, right? And I'd basically been in relationship with this person for the same amount of time that I had not seen them and completely cut off from them. And the funny thing is that as I was conducting these, what I call soul reunions, basically, which is just a journaling practice that I have, as I was doing it, I think I was probably on day maybe 60 or so straight days of engaging in this consistent ritual of connecting in with my soul self and nurturing and putting at ease my egoic self. I had this kind of revelation, and what came out of me was just, I actually started writing this letter to my ex-partner. And as I wrote it, it just felt so inspired. It felt so connected. It felt, I felt a deep sense of just oneness with all. I could feel the energy of just the right thing, the most aligned thing to do. And I ended up sending this person an email with that letter, you know, and I realized that my egoic self would have never allowed me to do that because of, you know, my ego and like, well, what's that going to mean about me, or the vulnerability of it. And I realized all of that disappeared because I had this deep connection. I needed nothing from this other person, right? There was no attachment to it. It just felt like the most loving, soul-directed action to take, and I took it. And the funny thing happened, which was I actually got this person's email incorrect, right? And this was a few months ago. And so I never got a response, but I didn't know I didn't get the email correct, basically. And so I just, you know, and it was a great test of like to make sure I was doing it from the right place. I didn't need anything back, right? And that's what it gave me the experience of. Okay. And for me, it was like, okay, I guess that's where this person is at, and that's okay, you know, like whatever their integrity is at this point is what their integrity is. And I know that I've been following mine, right? And so I basically, you know, a few months later, I actually just got a new, funny story, I got a new iPad, and I was setting the new iPad up, and I was, one of the apps, the reminders app, it needed me to update the version of it. And so I hit the update the version of it, and it said, oh, if you do this, this person is going to lose access to all these reminder lists or whatever that I'd co-created with my ex-partner that I had forgotten were even there, right? And it popped up with this person's correct email, and I realized I got it wrong. And so I decided at that point to reconnect with soul. Does this feel like something that's still aligned to just send out there? And I did, and I'm grateful that I did, because I had the experience of reconnecting with somebody in my life who in the past I literally gave all of my power away to. I filtered my entire existence through, right? And basically lost any sense of self or connection to self through that partnership. And so to reconnect with somebody who that was my pattern that I played with them, it was like a really great opportunity to test and see, where am I at within myself now? You know, because it's one thing to just cut somebody out or some challenge out or something you're afraid of out or something that triggers you out, but it's next level to then not only cut them out for a period of time, but to actually have done something with that time apart so that you are no longer playing the same old habituated limiting patterns in that person's presence or in that challenge's presence, and you can actually see and gauge where you're at on your own journey. And the beautiful thing was that the energy and the connection was just perfect and very healing, very beautiful, very soul connected, very conscious, very integrated. And there was one little moment where a little piece of my past pattern came up, but I was able to catch it. Right? And because I was able to catch it, it just gave me a new experience and a strength of developing that muscle, right? And so it was a very healing, beautiful experience to have. And what I want to take from that is when we drop our egoic limitations, our perceptions, our fears, our insecurities, and we have a process of re-engaging and connecting with a higher aspect of who we actually are, which basically means getting clear on what is the quality of human being that you are most proud to be in this moment, in this situation, in this experience, whatever it is, and checking in with that, and then aligning with that action or inaction, whatever the case may be. What actually happens from that place is that your life starts to flow. Energetically, everything transforms. For me personally, I can tell physically, like what happens for me when I'm aligned and when I'm not aligned, right? When I'm in alignment, when I'm out of alignment. When I'm in alignment, my weight naturally goes back to this particular spot, right? And it really doesn't actually in those times matter what I'm doing or not doing. That's where it's at. I come back into my ideals in every realm, right? And when I'm out of alignment, the opposite occurs. It doesn't matter, it feels like doesn't matter what I do, my weight is maybe going to go up, right? And mentally I am exhausted. I don't have the energy, right? When I'm in alignment, I don't know where this energy comes from, right? It's just, there's not enough hours in the day. I've got as much energy at night as I did in the morning, right? And I just want more and more of this time. I don't want to have to go to sleep. There's all of these different pivotal like compass points that can gauge basically where you are, whether you're in alignment or out of alignment. And so that is going to be unique to you. But my invitation to you is to notice where you are allowing the ego to direct, the fear to direct, whether that's in avoidance or attack or whatever it is, how you are perceiving yourself, your sense of self-value and worth. And basically, I want you to, my invitation for you, I should say, is to practice going within, practice connecting with the highest aspects of yourself. Whatever the challenge you're faced with, whatever the situation you're faced with, asking yourself, taking the time to pause and asking yourself, what would the highest aspect of myself do? Despite the fears, despite the insecurities, who would I be most proud of myself to be? All right. And I will let you know when you get really connected to that. Basically what happens is you generate the courage to take the action, the aligned action. So you just need to get aware for the transformation to start occurring, okay? And our ego doesn't get that, right? It just feels like you're going to die or self-sacrifice, right? And that's basically what you are going to do. You're going to sacrifice the little self in a way that grows you into the bigger self, right? But that's really just what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope that me sharing that aspect does kind of just get you thinking, where in your life right now are you allowing egoic limitations to stop your soul from working its magic? All right. And if you would like processes to really start to reunite with your soul, to go on the journey of creating a habituated, valuable pattern that will allow you to step out and to flow with life, right? To break free of your limitations, any suffering, energetically get your power back, and have the courage to face things that need to be healed and do so and move forward and progress, then let me know, because that's basically what I have been, one of the many things I've been creating for you guys is a system and a process to be able to do that. So you can let me know. They are called your Soul Reunion journals. There is a divine feminine and a divine masculine addition to both of those, and it's powerful. So you can give it a go if you want to. You can let me know, and definitely I just want to let you know before I wrap things up, because I've got literally like 5 minutes before I get into my next day of NLP right now, but basically I want to let you guys know I have got some seriously powerful stuff coming, which is basically a whole new way of looking at your personal development. It's a holistic approach to your personal development and your self-actualization and self-transcendence, which incorporates both the masculine and the feminine pathways to do so. So it's not one-sided, it's very holistic, it's very integrated, and I am super excited about what's going on in our Limitless Potential Academy with that. We're about to fully launch into these new aspects, which start in just in 6 days from now. So now is the time, if that's something that you want to find out more about, if you feel like there could be the next level for you and you want to actualize your potential in all areas of your life, and get your relationship sorted, get your pathway and your potential and what you're here to do and your purpose sorted, get your health and your physical energy and vitality sorted, like this is a pathway to do that. And it's taken me a while to get to this level of creation with it, but I'm so inspired. I really believe in it. We've got a bunch of amazing human beings already taking part in it, and we launch our first piece of that puzzle coming up Sunday if you're in the States, Monday if you're in the Southern Hemisphere or Australia or New Zealand. So you can let me know if you would like that. I'll drop a link on this video. You can book in a free session with me. I've got a couple more slots in my calendar available for this week. So if you're interested, you want to find out more, let's connect. I'll jump on a quick call with you, and we can discuss and see if it's a good fit. All right, so I want to say hey to everybody joining me, and I can see Jonathan and Donna here, and I can see Elias is here as well, and Carlos. I'm loving that you're loving this, and Merry Christmas to you. A little early Merry Christmas. I love it, and loving that you're finding this powerful and amazing. I appreciate you and your kind words. And Leica, you become so precise. Well, okay. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate those kind words. So really hope today's message has served you. Life will flow when you reconnect to the higher aspects of yourself. And life becomes really challenging, like you're trying to swim through mud basically when you're stuck in the ego. And just know that your ego is always feeling like there's something missing. You're trying to search for something, and it's always something in the external, and you negate the fact that everything you ever need is inside of you now. Okay, and take it from me, somebody who's lived basically over 30 years of my life, like searching for it in the external world, only then to wake up to everything available to me inside of myself, and the energy, the vibrance, the inspiration, the connection, the depth, the beauty, the awe that comes from establishing that connection to soul, to put your ego at ease, and to have that as a tool and a resource that's guiding and directing your life. There's nothing quite like it. All right, so if you're interested, jump on a call with me, and I'll be able to see if you'd be interested in, it'll be a good fit and a powerful next leg of your journey towards accessing the next level of your limitless potential. That's it from me today, guys. I want to say so many thank yous to each and every one of you guys who are able to join me live today. And I can see Charlotte's joined as well. So I hope you are catch the recording of this message, anybody tuning in now, and get a ton of value from it. And I cannot wait to see you guys very soon and to share with you all the insights of what's coming up in this Master Prac NLP course I'm going through. It is intense. All right, so much love for each and every one of you guys, and I will see you very, very soon.